Yes, yes, y'all. It is that man again, the man in black, the militant with a microphone, mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. It's your boy, Kevin Barnes, man, the mayor of Chocolate City. What's going on, Milwaukee? 414 Stand Up. It's another episode of Outlaw Radio on a hump day. Outlaw Radio Thursday. And you'll figure out why I named the show that momentarily. So, y'all, welcome to the show. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. As you can tell, I'm not alone. I do have a very esteemed guest here tonight. I'm glad this brother took the time to come and chop it up with us. So let's welcome him to Outlaw Radio, or back to Outlaw Radio, because he's been on here more than once. My brother, tell these people who you are and what you do.
Sure, Kevin, and thank you for the invitation again. My name is Robert Miranda. I'm the spokesperson for the Freshwater for Life Action Coalition and also a steering committee member of the Get the Lead Out Coalition. And I also am a steering committee member of the National Campaign for Lead-Free Water based out of Washington, D.C. And for the last 35 years, I've been an activist in Milwaukee, but ranging from matters of civil rights to education. But in the last 8 years, I've been focusing on the issue of water and lead in water and the lead pipes that have been tainting our water. And so that's pretty much the area I've been focused on now for the last few years, and working on around the country with groups and other activists and in other different cities.
Man, first, like I said, welcome back to the show, because you've been on a bunch of times years back. So and I'm familiar with your work, but a lot of people may not be. So I want people to know the water issue has kind of been swept under the rug here in Milwaukee a little bit. And I know, I'm not gonna say there hasn't been some other things going on, but it's been swept under the rug. So a lot of people have forgotten about it, or they're unaware of what the actual issue is. So what is the actual issue with the water in Milwaukee?
Yeah, well, first of all, let's make it clear why the water issue in Milwaukee has been swept under the rug. And basically, it's because our city government has been effective in handing over 30 pieces of silver to anybody who's willing to take it, so that they can shut their mouths and not talk about what is really going on with our water, especially issue with the water. I've been focused on a lot of other cities. I'm getting ready to come back to Milwaukee to do some more work. I'm actually going to be focusing on the criminal aspect of what happened to our community and the harm that was done. But just so that people understand what the issue is here, we're talking about lead pipes that have been servicing Milwaukee homes with Milwaukee water. That pipes that connect from the water main in the middle of the street that extend into the lateral that goes from the main to the inside of your home. And in Milwaukee currently, they're between, people are saying 65,000, 68,000. I'm more inclined to say it's probably 70,000 or more homes, because they really didn't have a really good numbers or data regarding how many homes really had it. So I would say 70,000 plus homes still have these lead pipes. And these lead pipes that have been servicing our homes, a lot of them are over 120, 140 years underground. And the time has come to remove them, because the corrosion is causing the flaking of a lot of particles of lead into the water, which is poisoning the water. People don't understand that, whatever the city government has been telling us in the last 7-8 years is all been lies. It's all been facts that have not been supported by data, facts that have not been supported by science. And in the last 6 years, when we started pushing this issue, we were gaining ground because we knew they were lying. We knew that the city government was bamboozling the community about the safety of the water flowing through the line. They started out saying, well, if you flush the water, the lead will get out of the water. Well, okay, that's true because there's two forms of lead that poison the water. One is soluble lead, which is a kind of lead that leaches into the water, that mixes into the water, something like sugar and water. And then there are particulate lead, which is particles that flake off the pipe and go into the water. So there are two forms of poisoning of the water that take place through these lead pipes. And so the city will say, oh, flush the water. Okay. Yeah, flush the water. But the problem is that doesn't eliminate the particles. And the city has always been telling us that they add this kind of compound chemical called orthophosphate that they put in the water. And the idea of that chemical or compound is to basically slow the corrosion of the pipe. It's supposed to create some kind of lining within the inner walls of the pipe, and then that's supposed to help slow the corrosion. Well, bottom line is this: these pipes have been underground for over 120 years, and the chemical or the compound that they add in to slow the corrosion was basically put in about 1996 is when they started using it. The pipes have already been corroded to the point where that uh, compound doesn't work for nothing, because a lot of the flaking that is going on in the pipes, the flakes, the particles that are falling in the pipes into the water, that compound cannot prevent that from happening. It's still falling into the water. So they could go ahead and throw all the orthophosphate they want to seal up the pipe to prevent or slow down the corrosion, but that does not stop the leaching of the lead in the water.
Okay, so for people who just tuning in, I got my brother Robert Miranda, who's the head of FLAC, and this is the subject that we're discussing right now is the water. If people are to like, what are they talking about? And so there's a particular danger posed by some old pipes that are underground. Now, okay, so first of all, I thought that there was some money allocated from this COVID relief money that they had said that they would go ahead and they would start replacing the lateral. So what happened to that?
Well, currently the whole thing is still in a flux. It's not being well debated or well managed by either party that is in charge of what's going on. Uh, no one is really coming up with a real plan on how we're going to be funding the pipes, and the amount of money that we are getting. Hey, what's going on, bro? And the amount of money that we are going to be getting really isn't going to be enough to remove all 70,000 pipes. We're going to have to find more money to do this. So at best, we will be able to do a kind of band-aid measure, but we're going to have to get more money in order to make sure that we're able to clean these water lines completely of lead. And before before I continue on about the water, I want to make sure people understand the hazard lead poses to our health, because I think a lot of people don't really understand how insidious and how damaging lead is to the health of the human body. First of all, lead, when it is ingested into the human body, it stays in your body. Some of it does excrete through urine and other means, sweat, whatever. But the bottom line is a lot of the lead that you ingest in your body eventually winds up staying in your body through soft tissue or through your bone. And over time, as you continue to ingest lead, it continues to grow in your body. It adds on to your body. And then what happens is, as your body starts to stress, lead starts to go into your bloodstream. And when lead starts going into your bloodstream, it starts affecting different parts of your body. Now, most people say, well, it does affect the brain. Yes, it does. It's a very hazardous neurotoxin, and it really does affect the brain. But lead also affects the heart. Lead can affect other organs in the body. Lead can affect the joints. You know, I mean, there's so much health hazard that lead does to the body. People have to become more aware of that, because if they're not really concerned about that aspect, then they're not really going to be paying attention to the issue like lead and water. And when you start ingesting lead through water, what happens is you start poisoning your body. And lead is a kind of like sugar to the body, right? Sugar, if you take too much, you start getting diabetes, right? And so diabetes is a kind of problem for the body, and it starts to damage the body and it starts to weaken the body. Well, lead does the same kind of thing, but in some cases, for kids like 6 years old and younger, lead can be even more damaging. It could cause uh, growth stunts, it could cause brain damage and stuff. Some adults will say, well, I've been drinking this water for years and I don't have any brain damage. I could count to 10. I know 2 + 2 is 4 and this and that. Well, fine. You may have not had the effects of lead in your brain, but that doesn't mean lead has not affected your cardiovascular system. It hasn't affected your respiratory system. It hasn't affected your organs. Most
So, hold on.
adults, most
I
adults
thought
test for lead in their blood, so they don't know exactly what lead, how much
Right.
lead.
so. That's what I
You
was
know,
about. Hold on,
yeah,
my
people can say that, but you know what I mean? I beg to differ. Because we look at all the different types of mental illnesses that we got going on. You know what I'm saying? And lead can be a contributing factor to each one of them.
Exactly. No, I
And not only that, a person that has a mental problem, they don't know they're going through one while they're having it.
exactly.
So
So,
you can't really say that it didn't affect you. You
it,
know?
that's exactly the point. People don't test themselves. If you really want to know if you are affected by lead, go get your blood tested. Go get yourself tested and see how much lead you have in your system. Because I guarantee you, there'd be a lot of adults out there who are going to have maybe double digit numbers of micrograms per deciliter in their blood. And they're going to start seeing that somehow this affects their physical abilities or their mental abilities.
So
But
what? Hold on. I thought okay. So I thought it was only certain parts of the city. I thought there was parts of the city that didn't have the lead. Supposedly, if they were X amount of years old, they didn't have. What was it from 1955 or older or younger? They didn't have lead pipe laterals or what was it? Or it
the
was all over the city. They said it was like what areas was it concentrated in? I guess that would
well,
be
the,
my
the
question.
largest the largest numbers of concentration of lead pipes is in the north side of Milwaukee, especially around the central city. And in the south side, in the Walker's Point area, Bayview areas, those other areas, there are lead pipes. Now, when you go further north of the city, where a lot of newer subdivisions were developed, those pipes are not made of lead. Actually, in 1962, that's when the city of Milwaukee really banned the use of lead. They started banning the use of lead pipes back in 1951, 52. And then that's when they started going into copper. But the bottom line is the houses that are most affected by lead pipes are those houses mostly in the central city, parts of the south side, near south side, and Bayview area. And I would argue that many of the pipes in the near south side, Walker's Point areas, are probably the oldest pipes that are underground that probably were laid into about 1840. Most of the pipes that are in the central city were laid in around the 1870s, 1880s. So, science tells us that these pipes, no matter what they have to be removed every 60 to 70 years. These pipes have been underground now, in some cases, almost 140 years. So they passed the expiration date twice.
So okay, so now we got a mayoral change, right? So it's an election year. A lot of people didn't know that. But it was. So this new mayoral regime, this brother what's his name? Chevy Cavalier, Mayor Johnson.
Yeah.
What's his perspective on the water issue?
You mean Barrett Light, right?
Barrett Light. I don't know. That's what they call him, apparently, right? Allegedly.
Well, you got this mayoral election. Basically, that's going to be a shadow government for Barrett. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if he's over in Luxembourg eating Wiener Schnitzels. The bottom line is he's still got a finger on what's going on in Milwaukee, and that finger will continue to be in City Hall, especially if Barrett Light gets into office.
That's interesting. A lot of people say that, and so, but what's the alternative? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if my community can stand for your mans in them. I don't know. We don't know about Peeping Tom. We don't know about him, man.
It's a conundrum. It is.
Right.
It's just the problem is that if more people got out to vote, if more people took voting seriously, if we had more than 50 to 60% of the people voting in this city, we'd probably have better choices. But because people don't vote, we always wind up with choices like these two. And so we're never going to see real solid, really good candidates unless we decide to come out en masse and vote for the candidate we feel that best represents us.
Right. You're from the South Side, right? Like you're a South Sider, right? And we feel like Donovan is gonna win the South Side. Like that's what we keep saying. Like this is the South Side versus the North Side. Like
yeah, I don't know if you ever took a ride around the South Side, but he got a lot of the Irish signs out there.
He has a lot of signs.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
We've been saying that for a minute. Like Donovan is winning the South Side.
Hands down, he is. I think that where Johnson is going to be able to probably offset that is definitely North Side vote, probably some of the East Side vote, Lower East Side vote, and maybe snatch up some votes in the West Side. But the South Side is pretty much hands down Donovan.
Yeah, this is just like Milwaukee. It's just race based. Black people
versus
white
people.
Yeah. What's going on, Kumar? I seen you jump in. This is my brother right here with we're on with Robert Miranda. What's going on with you, bro?
Hey man, just working hard, man. Working hard. That's it.
Okay. So this is brother Robert Miranda, who's an expert on the water. And see, there's a legal thing. Like is there an investigation? There's some charges. What's going on with the case on behalf of the water in Milwaukee?
Yeah, we when we started exposing what's going on with the lead in water back in 2015, 2016, through our work, that's when we saw the collapse of the Milwaukee Health Department. Because they were basically covering up a lot of misconduct, a lot of malfeasance. They were covering up data. It was just a mess. And so Wisconsin conducted an audit in 2018 and we found in that audit that a lot of the stuff that we suspected was going on were basically criminal. And so we took that audit with some other information and we sat down with Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm back in March or April of 2018 and filed a formal criminal complaint against officials at the city of Milwaukee. The district attorney accepted our complaint, began an investigation. And about 6 months into the investigation, a letter was actually sent by Common Council President Ashante Hamilton at the time, back in like September of 2018, signed and delivered, and asking Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm to investigate, in which Chisholm said, "We're already on the case, we're investigating." After a year of Milwaukee County District Attorney investigating this matter, we met with him again. And at that meeting is when we found out through him that the matter was referred to the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Now, he wouldn't tell us what they found, but in my opinion, if the district attorney is referring that case to the Wisconsin Department of Justice, it's because they found stuff.
Okay.
You don't just send what you investigated to the district, to the Department of Justice for nothing. There's something there. And so he actually assisted us in having a meeting with representatives of the Wisconsin Department of Justice back in April of 2019. We sat down with them. We went through the evidence that we felt needed to be investigated. They proceeded to investigate the matter. I lost track of everything back in the summer of 2019 after my near-death motorcycle crash, so I was out of it for almost a year. After recuperating and able to walk again, I went back and asked the Attorney General of Wisconsin Department of Justice, where are we with the investigation? Initially, they were hesitant to let us know what was going on. Chris Johnson over at Kingfish then sent an email to the Department of Justice asking for an update. And his email, they responded by saying there was no investigation going on. They didn't know what he was talking about. Then he responded back saying, are you sure about that? They didn't respond to that email, but then 2 weeks later, I guess they figured, well, we better come clean. And though they sent another email back to Chris Johnson saying, oh, yeah, we do have an investigation going on.
Right.
So they were hoping that during that time I was out of it, everything was forgotten and nobody would be following through asking about where the investigation is. And then it turns out they can't hide this because it's pretty much public. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying.
Investigated.
Public.
Yeah. So then we went ahead and started pressing for an update. The Attorney General of Wisconsin had refused to give us an update. We had elected leaders send letters asking for updates. They are ignoring our elected leaders, not giving updates on where the investigation is today. So we have now a criminal investigation of mass harm, a magnitude that probably people would be shocked to know, of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of children, families in the city of Milwaukee, harmed by the politics and by the lies and by the deceptive ways of the past administration that was running this city when it comes to lead and water.
Okay. So what as citizens, as voters, as taxpayers, what do people need to be demanding of whoever wins this election, this mayoral election?
We should be asking the two candidates that are there now. We should be asking them, what are they going to do to get the investigation that is currently being conducted by the Wisconsin Department of Justice Attorney General Josh Call to come to a conclusion so that we can either get charges brought against the bureaucrats who were running the water department, the health department, and whoever was in the mayor's office or city hall. Get them charged with the crimes that they committed against this community, or release the report. If he's not going to charge anybody, at least release that report, so then our group can go ahead and take what he has found and what he has investigated to the United States Attorney General's office and the Department of Justice of the United States, and have them investigate under civil rights and criminal investigations.
Okay.
But we can't do that unless the Wisconsin Department of Justice Attorney General Josh Call finishes his investigation and issues a report.
So look, now my brother on here, Kamar, is a holistic brother who deal with all kinds of removing toxins and all of this. So, Kamar, what would you tell people? What would you tell people so that they could be safe with their water? Like, because if obviously we all been drinking this water forever. So what
Right.
is it?
This
It's all
is what I
toxic.
like to tell. I like to tell people this. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, during this time of life or these days we live in, like with everything being toxic, like the water's toxic, the air is toxic, is the food is toxic, everything is toxic. So I tell people we need to learn how to live a detoxifying lifestyle. You know what I mean? Where
Exactly.
we're always doing something detoxifying, whether it's drinking some detox blood detoxifying tea. And I say blood detoxifying because that's how the toxins travel through your body, through your bloodstream. You know what I mean? So some blood cleansing herbs or whatever you want to take on a consistent basis. We may want to start fasting. You know what I mean? Every couple months, do a fast so our body can cleanse itself. You know what I mean? Just to counter all this stuff. And there's different herbs we can take, stuff like spirulina. You know what I mean? That cleanse the heavy metals out our brain. Chlorophyll is another one. You know what I mean? Going hard on your chlorophyll. You know what I mean? To get them heavy metals out your brain. So that's what I tell people. I like to tell people when they ask me about water, what can they do? I even tell them that about the vaccination. You know what I mean? Like the best thing you could do is detox hard. You know what I mean? Do a hard detox to cleanse your body.
That brother said fast. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. Everybody gonna be like, look at Kev's eyes.
Yeah, I saw you too, Kev. I was
He said fast. That's hard.
Did he just tell me not to eat?
Right. No, well, look, it's one of many issues that the city has. And I don't know. Early on, I heard that the thing was that the administration that's in charge now wanted to lean more towards the paint thing, as opposed to, I guess, really facing the. Has that really ever been settled? Like, look, okay, well, let's just do something instead of arguing about it. Because I keep hearing that they have the money, they have the funding, they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that, but I don't know, has it started yet or what?
You know, they've been receiving HUD money, federal money, to address the issue of lead paint for decades, and that has been addressed in various different ways, by federal funding, by community education. I mean, you growing up, you probably heard more about lead paint than you did about lead and water. So
I don't even remember hearing nothing about lead paint when I was growing up. They didn't give a damn about us.
I do. Remember they used to talk about the lead paint on the windowsill.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, kids back in the day used to eat the paint, put the
Exactly.
tips of paint in their mouth and chew on it and shit.
Yeah. So the education around lead and paint over the last 40, almost 50 years was very effective. And landlords were painting over the lead paint with non-toxic paint, non-lead paint, you know.
Yeah.
So 40 to 50 years, the education about lead paint was effective. But during that time, they never educated the public about how lead was in the water. And so while they were educating the people about the lead paint issue, the lead levels in our community were still high. And then they kept saying, well, we're not being effective on lead paint. No, we are experiencing high lead levels because we're not addressing this thing in a more holistic way. And that is not only including lead paint, soil, and dust, but we forgot that our community is being poisoned by lead and water too. And so if we addressed the lead and water 40 or 50 years ago, like we did lead and paint, the lead blood levels that we are seeing today that are extremely high would probably not be as high if we were effective in informing our community about the lead in the water.
Okay. So it's a lot of awareness out here now. I think a lot of people are aware that there's something going on with the water, but I feel like they just put it on just like on the laundry list. So like, okay, just put that on the list of some other stuff that's wrong in Milwaukee. We'll get to it when we get to it. So it seemed like it's just gonna be put off for years. Like when you're talking about all kinds of different tape and all kinds of barriers and we gonna do it. No, we get the contract. No, we'll do it. By the time they get done arguing about it, this whole generation will be gone. We'll be
Another generation going to be poisoned. Exactly. They get away with that because our community leaders are allowing them to get away with that. Okay. Community leaders are not holding these people to account. And whenever one does rise up to hold them to account, they always sell themselves for very cheap. The city comes back and says, oh, you do very good activism. Let's give you a nice grant. Here's some money. Now sit your ass over there and shut the hell up. And if you say something else, we're going to stop this money from getting to you. And people get used to the money, so they shut up.
Wow. So you say that's the reason why things don't get done, because eventually you just get caught out.
I say that because I've had firsthand experience in those attempts to buy me out. All right. I've been offered many, many goodies during the years, especially during this whole lead and water campaign. I've been given a lot of opportunity to make a nice living. So it takes a person of strong will and a commitment to community to say, to hell with the goodies. This is a fight that must be fought to protect our children in the future.
Okay. Now, is this something they was asked about at one of the debates, or I didn't get to see any of the forums or debates, none of that. So is this something that they was at the candidates both been asked about specifically? Like, hey, the water, what's your plan?
There have been in the primary a number of different debates where the issue was brought up.
Okay.
But nobody had a plan. There is no real comprehensive plan to address that whole matter with the lead and water. And so the two that are running today, the community should be demanding from them, one, what are you going to do to settle this criminal case that's going on? Because we want to see somebody held accountable for poisoning us. And two, what comprehensive plan do you have in place that'll initiate the removal of these pipes? And we're not talking about 70 years like they want to try to do now. We got to remove these pipes within 10 years. Did you know that in Newark, New Jersey, 2 years ago, within the last 2 years, they removed 22,000 pipes in 2 years. Here in Milwaukee, we've been sitting here listening to these people say, oh, we could only do 1,000 pipes a year. So what makes Newark better than Milwaukee? Why can't they remove 22,000 pipes in 2 years? And in Milwaukee, we're just looking at removing 1,000 a year.
Well, because they politicians ain't stealing.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And that they may not be stealing, but our politicians over here, they too dumb to steal. Their thing is They just happy to have steak, wine. That's it.
Wow. You know what? I don't. People say I don't know if they're stealing. I mean, I think it's set up because they actually had put in place a couple years back where after a certain period of time they would get a raise. Remember, they approved that for themselves, so that raise went off without a hitch. So I don't know if is that stealing. I know people was like,
No, it's not stealing.
so
It's not stealing.
right.
It just felt good to say.
And it didn't take much brain to use that to steal.
No, I don't, and I don't have any. I don't have any kind of like legal accusations on anybody down there. I don't know. I can't make and say somebody is corrupt or anything like that. I just know that our city is suffering from some severe issues, and nobody really has come with a issue with a solution.
Right. Well, okay, yeah, stealing would be a bad word because that's like accusing them of something, right? Well, let's say misappropriating funds. Maybe we misappropriate more funds than they do out there. Maybe that's one of the
or
problems.
better yet, just say they're all damn lazy. That's all. Nobody want to work.
That too. This is a whole bunch of stuff. We got a whole list. We can run it down. We can talk about this all night on why.
Nobody wants to put the work in that is required to do the right thing in order to improve what's going on in the city. That's a lot of work. And none of them want to do that. They're all comfortable. They're too comfortable over there. And so the idea is if more people got out and vote, that could disrupt their comfort level and force them to do the work they need to do. Right now, we got people out there that, they walk around the street. They attend all the festivals. They hold a couple of little block party events. Everybody, get to share a burrito. The bottom line is, if you don't force them to do the work, nothing done.
I don't know. The thing about it is, like, we have people who do a lot in the community, but when they run, people don't really vote for them. Like, so
exactly. Because
so
the good people that run, the people that really should be in office, don't have the kind of money they need. And when they don't have that kind of money, they can't get the kind of organizing that is needed or the kind of media that is needed. Because the media in this town, it is also a pain in the butt to our community. If you don't have the money to get media attention, the media is not going to pay attention to you.
Right, that's true. That's true. Got to have some marketing, some promotions. So
that's how everything goes. You know what I'm saying? People don't follow you until they feel like there's some money behind you.
Yeah, but you would think grassroots wise, somebody would be able to develop some sort of campaign that would catch on where people actually got up and voted. But it's always like the same. It'd be like, yeah, people love you. They'll shake your hand and blow their horn. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for you. That day, you get like 15 votes. Thought y'all was with me. Like, man,
we would.
I think that kind of discourages people from like running in Milwaukee for office.
Yeah, and the thing is that you need money because it's not only that you're using that money to advance your issues and advance your message, but you also need money to defend yourself from your enemies who are trying to knock you down. And so you have pretty much a two-front battle when you're running. One is to get your message out, get the people to believe in you, to see what you're capable of and willing to do for the people. But then two, you have to spend money to counter the lies, the deceitful messages, and all the attempts to knock you down. And it takes a lot of money to fight that kind of war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta have some bread. You gotta have some bread. We always say that, and that's why we always try to promote. Yeah, let's do black business, and we try to promote black businesses and spend our money with us and all that kind of stuff. And that's another issue with like economic development plan for the north side. Like, how does that even fit in with the lead pipe laterals? And it's so many questions that could be asked to whoever's going to be mayor, but I don't know if we would ever get any answers. There's really no transparency. Like, you don't even know what the hell going on. Like, so because most people are confused about who to vote for. Honestly, I know black people are like, look, man, but we'll see. We'll see how this special election goes. We'll see.
That's for sure.
So how can people get in touch with you if they got questions about the water or whatever?
They can always send me an email. I'm at r.miranda, Miranda 414 at att.net.
Okay.
Or they can look me up on Facebook and friend me or follow, whatever they want to do.
Okay. Okay. Well, I know you're a member of the People's News Network, so I always put your stuff up in there. So,
Cool.
whatever you got going on, man, just let me know, and we'll chime in and try our best to support you. Shout out to Chris Johnson too.
All right, brother.
You got anybody you wanna shout out, or any events coming up that you want people to be aware of?
Actually, we're going to be announcing soon a press conference on that issue, on the criminal stuff. But right now, I'm still working on that. But when I do get more of the details, I will let you know. But we do have. I just want to also say that we do have a program for expectant mothers who live in houses that have lead pipes, where we are supplying free canned fresh water. And so if anybody's interested who is a mother expecting and lives in a home that has lead laterals, get in touch with me and we'll put you in on the rolls with us so that we could go ahead and start getting some fresh, clean, canned water over to you.
That's what's up.
You got to shoot me that. You got to shoot me that info.
I will send you that information.
Okay. Okay. Man, so I want to respect your time. I want to make sure you got you everything that you got going on, you've let the people know about it, because I'm always happy when you come through.
Well, and I always say I'm honored that you guys invite me to join you, so I appreciate that.
All right, man. So, hey, if anybody wants to get in touch with my brother Robert Miranda, we'll get you his info, man. Thank you for coming, my brother.
All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
All right, man. You too. Man, give it up for Robert Miranda, man.
We own it.
Man, own it about the water, for real, for real. And people sleep on it, don't even know about it. What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. Living, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep up with the demand for this new strawberry vitality, man. Trying to keep up with everybody. You know, I'm doing it every Monday. So I advise everybody to prepay, you know what I mean, pre-order, so you can reserve yours, because it go fast, man. Let me tell you, I took about 17 gallons up there to the taste, man, and every one of them went.
Wow.
And I had about 60 bottles. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if y'all want to try this is popping, man. And you thought the original was fire, you got to try the strawberry, man. You know what I mean? It only get better. You got to know that. This me. It only get better.
Vitality, huh?
Yeah.
Man, so
better, man.
So you got the Meatless Monday popping, all that kind of jazz, man. I see you on fire, man.
The thing is just to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? The thing is to stay busy. I just want to be an example. You know what I mean? If there's any young people out there that want to learn how to do something from ground up, from starting from zero, from nothing, you know what I mean? I want to be that example. And that's where I hustle so hard. You know what I'm saying? I always tell everybody we got to be the example if we want to teach something.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. When is the book coming?
I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hey, somebody asked me that a couple years ago, but I feel like I got too much to do before I can write a book. I don't think it'll be interesting enough yet.
Wow. Wow. He said the
I don't
story
know.
ain't over. The story ain't over, huh?
It ain't over, man. It ain't over. It'll be a part 2, part 3, part 4. Like it's never ending, man. That's the beautiful thing about life. You know what I mean? We evolve. Every day we evolve. Every day. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what my thoughts about something may change tomorrow. That's a part of evolution in me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Let that creativity run free
Yeah, man. I
and
totally.
live your life.
Yeah, that's good, man. And it says something that what you make is healthy, right? It actually has health benefits, right?
Definitely. His sister was just telling me, just shot me a message on Facebook that said, she said, I don't know if you be advertising it, but this vitality help with pregnancy, morning sickness, or nausea.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and I could dig it. You know what I mean? I got ginger in there. Ginger helps with nausea.
Oh wow.
No, so
Right.
so
Man,
it's not, it really do heal. You know what I mean? It's not just a good drink, but it really do have benefit.
let's see, man. We got I think Courtney is live for her birthday.
Yeah. Poor dog.
We're gonna we're gonna get flagged for the music. We're gonna get flagged for the music.
Ain't no words. They don't know it. I think I saw her on the highway, as a matter of fact. On Facebook, I didn't know she was going out of town.
She live on her birthday.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't even know she was going out of town, man. I saw she was on the highway.
yeah, she said it on the last show. She said she was going
Oh,
on her birthday.
I couldn't hardly hear nothing.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because you was doing your thing. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Happy birthday to her. I'm glad she having a good time. I'm glad all your vitality is going good for you, brother.
It only gets better. It
Right.
only gets better. That's how life works. You know what I'm saying? Living in gratitude, man.
That's right, man. That's what's up. Positive vibes only, right?
Only.
Right.
Only.
You got anybody you want to shout out before we get up out of here for the night?
Definitely, man. Shout out to Honeybee Sage. Hey, man, she got a whole nother spot finna open up down on the east side on MLK, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Got a whole nother spot. It's gonna be like a more of like a drink social type spot, a healthy drink thing. I think it's even gonna be some light alcoholic beverages or whatever. But it's gonna be like a healthy spot. You know what I mean? Come down there, hang out, do some work on your laptop or whatever. A cool spot. You know what I mean? Smooth music. And I'm gonna have them vitalities there. I'm thinking I'm gonna do the flavored bottles exclusively down there, where you go get your bottles down there, but you get your gallons from me on Monday.
Okay. Look at dog. Look at
Yes,
dog.
sir.
Look at dog entrepreneuring. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Man, it ain't
And
gonna
then oh yeah, shout out to my homeboy Akintunde Yatunde. Me and him, I just started sending my teas. Like he's selling my cheese with his dinner. It's a chef, an African chef. He sells vitalities with his dinner. So if you watch my page, whenever he's selling, whenever he got something going on, I'm sharing the post. I think today he had a soul food dinner going on, soul food vegan dinner. So yeah, man, yeah, we're trying to give vitality everywhere to everybody somehow in some kind of way.
I see that's your mission. I see that's your mission, man. I see that's your mission, man. Man, we gonna dip up out of here, man. And you know how we do it. We'll chop it up, man. Man, we'll be back on, man. What you won't be back with me till unless you chime in, man, with Outlaw Nation.
Okay.
We gotta chop it up, man. I'll holler at you, man. We'll figure it out.
It's easy. I'll tap in.
You know how we do it, man. All right, man. Peace and love, man. 414, stand up, man. I see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
Peace.